Hey, hello, hi, welcome to the season finale of the Sound Good podcast. I am your host, Michael.
Finally over.
It's finally over.
Hi, I'm Micah.
And that's Micah. So, we today are going to...
Despite all the letters you sent in, I'm still here.
Yeah, despite all the letters I sent in... you sent in. We're going to... We decided for this season finale to take fan suggestions for albums that y'all wanted to hear us talk about. We only got like 4 albums suggested to us, so
yeah,
we kind of just said screw it. We're gonna do all of them.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you guys a 4-album episode here.
Gonna write this off as charity on my taxes.
Damn right. Get that sweet return.
Yeah.
So, let's see. What are the albums we have today? We are going to be talking about the Vulfpeck album, Mr. Finish Line, the
Libations.
That's right. The new the new EP from a band called Libations, Symphony X's album, The Odyssey, and was it a new Trophy Eyes album, or was that one?
Yeah, it came out August 3rd. So
okay, and then the new Trophy Eyes album, which I'm blanking on the name of that one.
The American Dream.
There we go, The American Dream. So, no, we're really thankful that we got these suggestions in. Thank you to everybody who gave us ideas, because without you, this episode would have just been half an hour of silence. And yes, I would have uploaded that. Don't test me.
Well, the alternative was also the new Coheed, but
true.
We don't have to tell them that.
That'll be later.
No one. Yeah, yeah, that's between us.
I'm not editing this. Spoilers, dude. Come on. So yeah. Without further ado, we will go ahead and jump right into the reviews.
So that was a Symphony X song, I imagine, because I think we're going to talk about that first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about Symphony X.
Were we going to call people by their names? I forgot. The people who suggested, or nah?
Dog, I don't know.
Okay. Well, my friend Ben, we can just do first names, it's fine.
Yeah,
recommended I listen to Symphony X's The Odyssey. This is the band's 6th album. It came out November 5th, 2002 on Inside Out Music. And it's essentially, well, I guess the title track, The Odyssey. I don't know if the rest of the album is, but the title track is split up into 7 parts, and it's literally just music version of Homer's The Odyssey.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just took the story and made a song about, turned it into a song.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. And this basically just got recommended because I mentioned that I have never listened to Symphony X. Obviously, knowing Dream Theater, I've heard their name several times. I've just never looked into them. But yeah, this album was really neat. It felt... I hear a lot of the undertones of Dream Theater in there. I don't know if maybe they've just influenced each other because it seems like they've been around at the same time. Yeah, if this is their 6th album in 2002.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You said 6th album, and I just went, what?
Yeah. At that point, they may have been around longer than Dream Theater. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, dude. Jesus.
I'm very curious now, actually. They've only been around since 1994.
Oh my god.
They're just pumping them out. Oh my god. But, jeez. So in that sense, I would say... it's probably pretty easy for them to pump them out because I don't know that. People complain about Dream Theater being a little, just guitar and, keyboard wankery. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Self-masturbatory prog.
Yeah, because I think that the thing that separates this from Dream Theater will definitely be that these guys rely a ton on just going for a cool solo. I don't
noodly doodly.
Yeah, Dream Theater is definitely a lot more
structured.
Yeah. And then the other thing that really got me with this is that Dream Theater has always had much better production. I should stop comparing it to Dream Theater, but this had very flat production for me. There was almost no reverb and bass on any of the instruments.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I hate to admit it, but I didn't really listen to the entire album. I kind of skimmed through some tracks because I'm not gonna lie, man, the 24-minute long song kind of like intimidated me a little bit, and then I looked at the other track lengths and I was like, all of these songs are about 6 minutes long, dog.
No, it was...
So, I skimmed through them, but I definitely... That was a thing I was going to mention, too, because I picked up on that, too. The mixing and, like, just the EQ on, like, the entire album, at least from the little snippets I heard of all the songs, did sound really, like, flat and, like, non-dynamic and just static.
Yeah, and it was interesting that for a prog rock band to, for once, hear... This is going to happen with the other album that I'm going to focus on with talking about too, the Trophy Eyes. It was interesting at least to hear a singer who sings in a lower register, because normally prog rock and pop punk are like higher pitched, you know?
Yeah.
So this dude...
Operatic.
Yeah, this dude definitely was not doing that. He was going for like a Ronnie James Dio / like Tesla kind of singing style, like hair metal. Yeah, like I got huge vibes of like Modern Day Cowboy by Tesla like throughout the whole thing, but at the same time, like just from his singing, but then all the guitar was produced in a way that it just sounds just like Pantera, which is really weird. Like all the main like just power chord riffs are like just Pantera.
Right.
And in that sense, the production's pretty similar to Pantera, because Pantera has a pretty flat production in it. Yeah, I think maybe the drums have a little more depth to them for Pantera, but
for sure.
Yeah, so the guitar interplay with like the keyboard was always really cool. They had some really dope unisons. The orchestra in it, especially on the title track, like it opens up with some very really twinkly, I guess, not twinkly,
kind of like spacious, like a little ambient kind of stuff.
No, it's like opening up with flute and a really nice horn section. Like it feels like it's kind of like Siberian Orchestra a little bit, I guess.
Oh, kind of like regal sounding.
Yeah, that's how the Odyssey opens up, like the title track.
Yeah.
And like it's just
I do remember that.
So yeah, it was kind of neat to listen to some prog rock, because that's always cool with Dream Theater when they do it, like on Illumination Theory and stuff. Hearing like or like on the Astonishing throughout the whole thing was having an orchestra and wind section there. But yeah, it's pretty neat. I probably will. I know you won't, but I probably will go check out some of their other stuff just because I want to know. Because I actually really did dig it. There were some like little sections that were just like, they were really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of arguing about it before we started recording for this episode, but I do think that if they went for more of a power metal sound, like if they just sped it up a little bit, I would probably enjoy it a little bit more, and I would be more willing to sit down and listen to the 6 minute long power metal song, or like, you know, the 24-minute long epic, because I love bands like is Elysium a band, or is that an album from a band I'm thinking of?
I do not know.
Damn it. Whatever. Well, we're going to keep my screw up in there. But I am definitely a big fan of the more like orchestral power metal, over the top, stupid stuff.
Oh, that's
cheesy power metal. I love that stuff to no end.
Yeah.
So I could get little like feels of that through like the little bits I listened to, but it didn't stick around for long, and I really wish it would have.
Yeah, I think that they were trying to go for like, if they ever did speed up, it was kind of like more for a reason, or just like as a little flavor. But that's a totally fair assessment. Maybe if they did that consistent, like the entire time.
Some of their later albums, are like that, and if they are, I might go listen to those.
Yeah.
But yeah, this album kind of, not only did, like I said, the 24-minute track intimidate me, and that's saying quite a bit considering I'm also a Dream Theater fan.
Hey, Dream Theater doesn't have any 24-minute songs.
Oh, you're right. They just have a 3-hour album. You're right.
And a 23 like 58 song.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what Octavarium is.
No, it's 24 even.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Damn. I guess it has to be divisible by 8, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, so the thing that pissed me off that I wanted to talk about was the version that you find to stream this is 72 minutes, and that's because for some reason there's a bonus track called The Masquerade after the title track, and it just totally kills it. Like, the title track should be the final song, and it's like after the Odyssey ends, you just have this like really weird song with a chorus of like Masquerade of Lies that's like it's really annoying, and you're like, this should have either been earlier or just not there.
Right. Yeah, do you know if that was like, because I noticed on the Wikipedia page for the article, it said there was 2 bonus tracks. One of them was a limited edition bonus track, and the other one was like a Japanese only bonus track.
Masquerade's probably the limited edition, and then
okay.
Oh no, Masquerade. Both of these.
The Japanese
wait.
one, because I don't know why they'd put the limited edition one on streaming.
It's very unclear, actually.
Yeah,
because I have the category on their wiki for Japanese / limited edition, and they're not labeled which one is which.
Yeah, right.
Because fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
no, man, whatever happened to bands doing Japanese only? Like
the only other band I can think of is actually Dream Theater that did that a lot.
Yeah.
They put out all those bootlegs from the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. We could probably move on to either. Which one do you want to talk about?
We're gonna probably, I don't know, surprise. I'm sorry about my job. Now the crime's a waste of time when you're alive. Okay, and I guess the album that we're gonna talk about next is actually the newest EP from KC based emo, math rock, indie, punk, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Mostly emo, and they get kind of mathy. Band Libations.
Yeah, I felt like on especially this EP, I felt a lot more mathy.
Yeah, I think the song that brings it out the most is probably, is it Segelhund, that has like the really weird intro?
Maybe. I'll be real, just like you on the other one. I didn't.
No, it 100% is.
Teamwork.
Yeah, no, this is just a little 20-minute EP. Came out July 28th. I think they released it by themselves. I'm pretty sure they're not signed.
No.
But it was recorded down at Clockwork Audio Production in Belton, Missouri.
I go there all the time.
Yeah, right. I love that place. I've never heard of it until just now, but I love it.
Yeah, I love the great Mike McDonough.
Hey, I mean, he did a great job. It sounds good.
Yeah, it does. It was actually, I was impressed by it.
Sounds good, TM.
Shut up.
No, you did it last episode.
What do you mean?
I get to do it this episode.
What do you mean?
But yeah, no. Honestly, I really dig this album. I've seen these guys a couple times live. I mean, I know the band. It's not gonna really affect my opinion on this or anything, because I do just genuinely think they make pretty good music. This album, like I said, it's only about 20 minutes long. It's 4 tracks. Shit, man. There's so much to talk about what is going on. The vocalist and guitar player Spencer, his voice on this EP is actually really, I think it's a little too quiet in the mix. Okay. But the lines, his vocal melodies and how he sings and how it's delivered on the album is really good. That could be, just an effect of the mixing, because like I said, the mixing on this album is very good, other than him being pretty quiet on some tracks. But I do think the standout track on this EP is definitely Segelhund, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I am or not. I'm just I'm just hoping. But that is one of the more mathy songs that they have. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that being on this EP, because I've heard them play it. I never knew what it was from, if it was on something they had out, but No, I really dig the EP. It's a good release. I think this is their first release too.
Yeah, I was gonna. So yeah, if you ever heard it, it was probably just because they had it written. They just had never put out something like recorded it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the only release on their Bandcamp. It looks like maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I really don't know what all to say about it because it's like I said, it's a really short, just 4-song EP.
Mm-hmm.
It opens really strong with Deductible Fairy Tales. I do dig that song. Oh man, it's so hard. I like the guitar tones a lot on this album. I've noticed specifically off of the opening track and Segelhund that there's a lot of, it's a mostly clean tone, which I mean you'd kind of expect that with an emo and math rock band.
Yeah.
But it's got some effects put on it every now and then. Like in Deductible Fairy Tales, like the whole intro has like a weird, I feel like it's reverb, but it could also very well be some kind of vibrato going on with it.
Yeah.
But no, I dig this. I dig the sound of the guitars. I like the drumming. Robbie does a really good job on the drumming. It's very interesting. Like nothing about this band is boring in my opinion. Like everything kind of grabs your attention in one way or another. It's like if you're hearing a riff in the guitar and you're hearing it too much, it's like, oh well, guess what, now the bass is going to catch your attention. Or if once you get done listening to the bass, it's like, oh, all of a sudden the drums are doing something really cool.
Yeah, that's always a part of music that, like music crafting, that I respect, where when you as a listener become aware that you're kind of tired or you just notice that a certain thing has gone on to where it probably should stop, it does.
Yeah.
And it's cool that the musician is also aware of that, and that's usually where, or sometimes they play with your expectations and don't do that,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not even saying like anything should have ended.
Yeah, well, no, it just feels like it naturally should move on to the next thing is kind of what I mean. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a short little segment, I guess, because it's.
I mean, it's like 10 minutes.
it's 4 songs. It's hard to go on and on about 4 songs, but no, I definitely dig it. If you're into like the more like, I would say mid to late 90s, early 2000s style, like emo, like Braid.
Okay.
And bands in that vein, like maybe early Jimmy Eat's World, kind of.
Okay.
I think you would probably enjoy the Libations LP. I know you can get it on Bandcamp. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else. I would assume it would be. But yeah,
it looks like the at the bottom of their Bandcamp, that Black Site thing. It looks like it's a small Kansas record label that they're on called Black Site.
Oh, are they on Black Site? Okay,
yeah,
so then it was released through Black Site then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I was wondering what that BS10C is. That's probably the cataloging code.
I know, and like I couldn't really tell what, because I didn't know if it was just a distribution thing for like merch or something. So I had to click on. There's a tab on the Black Site website that just says Manifesto, and it's like really fucking insidious.
Yeah, well, I think that's where they get their cassettes made too. I think that's a cassette, like, because they have cassettes for this album too. I should mention that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, if you dig like I said, if you dig the older style emo like Braid and older Jimmy Eat World,
man, I need to go back and listen to Jimmy Eat World. It's been a long time.
Yeah, right.
But like older Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, right. Like Clarity.
Oh.
So yeah, I got nothing else to say. Go check it out. It's good. It's a good album. And I'm not just saying that because I know the guys.
Yeah, and like it was one of the people in the band that said to listen to it, right?
Yeah. Spencer suggested it, and hey, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I like it. So I don't see why not.
Moving on to Trophy Eyes.
Yeah.
His album, The American Dream.
I'm gonna burn up in the atmosphere. If you blink, you're gonna fucking miss
me. So, Trophy Eyes put out an album on August 3rd called The American Dream, and it's like Probably like their third album, maybe.
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Who
Possibly.
knows? I don't know. Who cares really? And so, I mean,
that's rude.
Damn.
All right.
Trying to figure out. It was released on Hopeless Records, and they are a pop punk band from Newcastle, Australia, basically.
More pop punk.
Yeah.
More
and I was actually,
punk.
I did consider this because it came up on my new releases in August, but I was just like, dude, we talked about Hot Mulligan and a billion other.
We like pizza and hate getting dumped. Sorry, I have to do that every time we talk about pop punk.
You have never done that before.
I have to now, though.
What do you mean?
I have to now, though.
And so, yeah, these guys are a lot like Between the Buried and Me in the sense that...
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Reset the clock.
Shut up.
And, yeah, I just got a lot of like vibes of the Parallax on this.
I hate you so much. You know what? Maybe there just won't be a season 2, all right?
I think that there... Hey.
This is a series finale.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, but anyway.
And so my friend Anna, who I've just known from Tumblr for like 4 years, I guess she saw these guys live, and this is one of the motivations for her recommending it. So it worked out that I looked into it previously. I guess they toured with like Neck Deep, maybe, and some other people. So it's kind of that genre. But it's kind of interesting because the thing that stuck out to me with this is that it's kind of a oddly somber feeling kind of pop punk style that they're going for.
It's not what you expect from a pop punk album. It's a lot less happy.
And I guess so. Considering it's called The American Dream, it's weird how it's not dark, but it's not also, they don't use melodies that are explicitly hopeful either. It's just kind of like middle of the road a little bit, it feels. And I don't know if that was intentional or that's just the style of music they went for. And then the lyric content is just where the hopefulness kind of comes from. It was cool that the singer himself, I mentioned it on the Symphony X part that my point was going to carry over to this, that he sings in a much lower register, and then whenever he does try to hit a higher, it's mostly just when he's screaming, and he doesn't really scream a ton, and when he does, it's pretty effective.
Yeah.
There's a lot of slower songs that have a moment, so he's like, it's the low singing that he does do, it kind of reminds me of it's really dumb. It reminds me of the low singing of Demon Hunter a little bit, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
I get that. That's the point where you're like ruining the music for yourself.
You know what, dude? I was actually wondering like what his voice reminded me of, because I did notice that too, that he does have a lower register singing voice, like normally, and I was trying to think of the entire time like, why does this sound familiar? But now that you mentioned Demon Hunter. Yeah, I
like on a Demon Hunter ballad or something.
I definitely feel that now. I understand 100%.
And he is explicitly like pushing his voice down to hit those low notes. It's not like his natural clean singing voice. Like you can tell that he's intentionally trying to sing it lower, which is maybe to compensate for when he reaches to what his high range is, it feels like it's traversing a larger like pitch range maybe. I don't know for sure. None of the instruments really stood out to me a ton on it. They were just kind of on part. Like the singer was just kind of the strongest part of the band dynamically.
Well, I think it was the most interesting part because I mean, it's hard to like make pop punk and then be too interesting with the music because I think if you're a pop punk band and you want to get interesting, you're just going to end up turning into like a math rock band or an emo band or a prog band. Similar to how Capstan went from being a straight up pop punk band. Reset that counter, by the way. Similar to...
Google's going to hear you, dude, and they're going to recommend me more. This was recommended based on Capstan.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, similar to how Capstan went from like straight up pop punk to now being like progressive, almost progressive metal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to be interesting as a pop punk band outside of the vocals.
Yeah, the one cool one, all the songs are typical pop punk, like 2.5 to like 3.5, maybe pushing 4 minutes long. The last track on the album called, it's like I feel the calling. I can feel it calling. Yeah. It's 603.
Oh, Jesus, really?
Yeah, it has a really interesting build up. And that's one of the moments where him building up to a scream is super effective. 'Cause it's like, I want to say the lyrics are "Don't blink or else you'll miss me," and that's like what he's screaming. And so I think that's where the American Dream aspect of the album comes in, because it sounds like the whole theme of the album is trying to make it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was one song, I want to say it is Lavender Bay, that there was a lyric that didn't sit well with me, because the lyrics kind of throughout are just trying to make it and like wanting to make a name for yourself. But there was some lyric that was along the lines of I want to see my name up on boards in Sydney. I want people to know my name, or else none of it was worth it. And it's like, I don't know that fame should be like, I don't think that you should say none of it was worth it if you're not famous. Like,
maybe that's like part of like the American Dream theme, though.
Yeah, hopefully, like,
that is
maybe
like a big thing with the American Dream.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all that, you got to get big, otherwise it's not the American Dream.
Well, no, so I'm hoping that they're making that point and not trying to say that that's the case for themselves, is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Like, I'm hoping that that's not what their intent is for making music, because that's a little...
It could just be some inner thoughts he's had, you know, at some point or whatever, you know.
That is true.
It might have been, because that's definitely, I mean, every musician has that thought at some point. They think, you know, if I'm not getting big, then it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't feel worth it. You know, but...
And that's fair, but at that point, I hope that you can find
my armchair
meaning.
Psychology ends there.
Yeah, and it's like, I hope that if that's the case, and for anybody that ever feels like that, just I hope you can, because you're probably never going to get big unless you're doing it for a different, more like you're doing it for you, and if you find some other reason to be doing it, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's going to be a dead end road if that's your motivation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty neat. I know I did listen to some of the previous albums, and I didn't really like them that much.
Yeah.
There's like one of a kid in a swimming pool. I know. Chemical Miracle. I wasn't really a fan of that. I haven't listened to Hurt yet, which is from 2017, but I might try to listen to this one a little bit more just to get more of a feel for it. It was pretty neat. I might check out Neck Deep someday if this is in the similar category.
Yeah.
I've never listened to them. There's a lot of pop punk I haven't listened to.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of pop punk.
But at the same time, there's a lot of pop punk I have listened to because I've listened to pop punk.
Yeah, because of Capstan. Thanks, Google.
No, I mean because pop punk's all the same.
Yeah, right.
If you listen to one band, you kind of... Don't tell anybody. That's the secret.
Right. They'll never know.
People will find out. Okay, so moving on to...
All right, moving on to the final album.
Vulfpeck.
Yeah.
The wind came through my treetop, blew away so many things.
All right, so for our last album of this episode, we're going to talk about the 2017 release Mr. Finish Line by Ann Arbor, Michigan-based funk band Vulfpeck.
Recommended by someone named Scott, right?
Yeah, well, it's my roommate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my roommate actually gave us this recommendation.
I didn't know your roommate's name.
Yeah, no, that's fine. He's a big fan of Vulfpeck, and he, decided... I've never really listened to him. I've only listened to little spurts whenever, I hear him playing music or something like that. So I figured, he suggested this. I figured now is a good time than ever to check out a whole Vulfpeck album.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude, this is some good shit. Like, if you've ever been sitting listening to music and you're just like, man, I really wish there was something funky I could listen to, but something new, you know? Like, I don't want to have to go back to the 70s for this. Like, Vulfpeck, Jesus, it's Vulfpeck. Vulfpeck is definitely in that wheelhouse. Let's see, this album came out I don't got an exact date, but it was last year, 2017. It's only 10 tracks long, about 35 minutes ish. It's, I mean, you know, considering that, it's pretty short for a funk album, especially.
There's a lot of songs to cover, like, in that window. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and it's like, you know, each song is anywhere between like 3 minutes to like 4.5 almost. The opening track, I think the album opens up really strong with Birds of a Feather, We Rock Together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I only got through like the first 3 songs, but yeah,
see, that's
strong.
I'm glad you said that, because it actually took me a few listens to get the entire way through, because I think the album kind of falls off with my attention about halfway through. Like right after about Running Away or Hero Town, which is track 5 and 6 respectively.
Okay.
Right after about then, I kind of just get like, not like bored isn't the word, but it's almost like it's just too much funk. And I know that's kind of dumb to say, talking about a funk album. Like, I mean, I understand the irony and how stupid I sound saying that there's too much funk in this funk album, but I think it's just because it's like, I'm not into that style of music as much. Like, if you're somebody who likes jazz, who likes funk, who likes, you know, experimental weird music with keyboards and saxophones and trombone and all this stuff.
But I mean, yeah, I love all that, but it depends like what kind of if they're playing like funky melodies, then then it's gonna be like
it's just really good. Like, it's a really good background album, I think. Like, I don't think I have no problem if this was playing in the background constantly somewhere. That's like, it's perfect for that, in my opinion.
That could also be a personal hell too, though.
Yeah, right. Well, because a lot of the tracks on this album do not have vocals. Well, some of them. I shouldn't say a lot. Some of them don't. Like Tea Time, for example, is completely instrumental, no vocals whatsoever. Okay. It's kind of funny reading through the personnel credits, because they actually give personnel breakdowns on each track. And it's just funny looking through some of these, because Jack Stratton, who is on a lot of these tracks, I'm not sure, I think he's a main member.
I think he has to be in the band.
He is a main member.
Yeah.
But like, they have him for credits on Birds of a Feather as Pancakes, so I don't know what role that is, but
it's important.
And it's just really funny too that they feel the need to specify that Joe Dart plays the Fender bass.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. What?
I don't know. It's these guys are just kind of silly, and I think it adds to the dynamic of the music a lot more.
You can definitely tell just by the artwork too.
Yeah, I mean, these guys just have fun making music, and that's cool. And
yeah, like the artwork makes it look like it's going to be a parody album a little bit.
Right, just a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty decent album. Like I said, I do kind of get.
You're just saying that because you have to go see the guy that recommended it.
No, I don't. I don't care. Nah, man. Completely honest, unbiased opinions.
That's all I ever give.
Yeah, but yeah. I don't know. I just think for this being my first dive into like fully into a Vulfpeck album,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a pretty good one. I think this would be an album that if someone were to like have to try and get me into Vulfpeck, like I think this would be the album.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a mood album in my opinion, whereas like I said, I can't really just like listen to it willy-nilly. I have to like want to sit down and listen to half an hour of funk, or I just want to have it on in the background.
Yeah, and that's a really weird mood. I think that it's definitely a mood thing.
Really weird mood.
And I have never been in that mood.
Yeah. You never just like heard a nasty bass line in some music you're listening to and like, oh dude, if he just like slapped that and just like
Yeah, no, because it's like it's a weird, to be on the depression side, it's an upbeat mood that I don't think I'm ever in.
All right.
You know? Like, no, I just mean like...
No, I know what you mean though, yeah.
Yeah, because when you say, oh, it's a mood, it's like, yeah, I want to listen to like some kind of ambient, maybe a little more minor feeling stuff.
Yeah. It's a very...
I've never... Listening to happy music is a weird like notion.
Yeah.
that I don't feel a ton.
It's a very like almost like funk is just a very summery sounding, like just like you said, like very upbeat and like with your friends kind of music, kind of.
The only high energy happy music I could think of, well, yeah, because like this isn't really injected with super high energy. It's just like happy, like kind of.
It's just
medium.
A chill happy.
Yeah. Because, like, I guess going back to, like, the pop-punk thing, pop-punk's a lot easier for, I'm in a happy mood, I want to listen to, because it's, like, it's also, like, getting you pumped at the same time. This is not necessarily getting you super pumped. It's just pleasant and happy to listen to.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah, which, I don't know. Nothing wrong with that.
No. I mean, if it's your kink, I don't know. Sure, fine.
Yeah, but, yeah,
am I going to shame you?
I don't know. There's not really much else I have to say about it. It's a decent album if you like funk, if you think you like funk, or if you just want something upbeat and, cheery to listen to.
If you think you like funk,
if you think
listen to this and go, wait, I thought wrong.
Yeah. I actually like experimental funk. They do some interesting stuff. It's a really interesting album. They pop in every now and then with some interesting stuff. There's some creative things. They use a Wurlitzer piano a lot, very creatively. It's got some nice little, just some small riffs and stuff like that every now and then. And yeah, I don't know. I do think that the title track, in my opinion, or not the title track, the because that is actually a song, the Mr. Finish Line.
Yeah.
I do think the opening track is probably the best one on the album, though.
Yeah.
And that's just from me. It's either that or the song they have, which this is why I keep calling them Vulfpeck on accident, because the song is called Vulfpeck.
That's bullshit. You can't do that.
They're doing it to me on purpose. But
because this is like what, album like number 5, and they've never done that before. It's like,
this is actually their third LP.
Oh, okay.
They've put out 3 EPs.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is their third LP, and then I think they have another one coming out December 8th.
My point still stands.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that will do it, and that will wrap up the reviews for this episode. That will wrap up the season of the Sound Good podcast.
Yep.
We're going to take about a month or so break before we come back with regular weekly episodes. In the meantime, I think Micah we were talking about doing little mini episodes, little one-off episodes. So we will still most likely have content for anybody and everybody willing to listen.
Yep.
On Sundays as usual. They will just be a little shorter episodes, probably, what do you think? Probably around 10 minutes.
Oh, what? No. No, because, it might be like 15 to 30 still.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to shoot for. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. Then I guess we'll have full-length episodes, but it'll probably just be Micah for all of them.
It'll just be me.
It'll just be Micah.
I mean, it's just like, if we take a month off and do a week, like, it's just going to be 4 episodes of me, so.
Right.
It's fine.
So, yeah, stick around for that, I guess. Keep a lookout for that. And thanks for everybody who suggested
thank you,
albums.
everybody.
Thank you, Anna, Scott, Spencer,
and
Ben. Yeah, cool.
Stay sexy.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to the podcast. We will see you guys together again
Subscribe.
in a month. Yes.
And sell your soul.
Give us money. You can find
our
non-existent
just send money.
Patreon. you can find our non-existent Patreon at
in the future
soundsgoodpod@gmail.com. That is where you can send us money for absolutely nothing in return.
And also at 1467 Willow Street in Kansas. Just mail money. Yeah. I'll take it.